welcome back to The Rundown, where we talk about 2A news and conservative views. I will be your host today, Craig DeLuz, coming at you from the West Coast, the left coast, behind the Iron Curtain, otherwise known as the Sierras. But as we all know, I do not do this program by myself.
That's right. My name's Mike Piwowarski, coming to you live from the East Coast. That's the coast with the most, from the co-host with the most here on The Rundown. 2A views, conservative news, and Craig, it's day one of the hostage situation, sir.
Day one of the hostage situation today. Yes, sir, it is. And it's, it's going to be a fun one, I think. At least, for a Monday.
Yeah. Yep. I hope so. It's some kind of holiday thing coming up here shortly, too. So we got to get ready for that.
Yeah, it's the weirdest thing. It's like this year it feels like, okay, so we're like, Christmas isn't for almost a week yet. All the kids are out of school. My wife's off work. And it's like trying to get any business done during this week, even though Christmas is almost a week away, is almost impossible. I can't get anybody on the phone. Everybody's already kind of checked out. And they're going to be like that for 2 weeks. And then all of a sudden, we're going to celebrate and party hardy on New Year's Day or New Year's Eve. We're going to recover on New Year's Day, and then bam, we're going to be right back at it in the middle of political season, like hitting the ground running.
Well, some of us will run, some of us will wander around the stage like we're a Roomba. But yes,
You mean like Joe Biden-esque?
yes, yeah. I love that. I love that about him. Every time he's done with a speech, he just turns around and walks around like a Roomba.
Like a Roomba. Keeps going until he runs into something.
Yep, then turns and goes the other way. Oh, can't go that way, stairs. Oh, can't go that way, wall. Oh, can't go that way, closet.
Unless it's a sandbag, then he just trips over it.
That's it. That's sandbagging fool.
I think they should, what I think they should do? I think they should make him do like a bicycle course around sandbags. Because we know how good he is with bikes, right? Upstairs.
Yeah.
Up some stairs.
Up some stairs, I'd give it to him. I'm not sure that was him on the bicycle. I think even his stunt double went down on the bicycle. But yeah, that's on some stairs. That's it. The only president I've ever seen fall up the stairs 3 times. Up the stairs, he fell.
Up the stairs. 3 fell up the stair. I guess. Although I will say this: if you're gonna fall on stairs, it's probably a lot safer to fall up the stairs than down the stairs.
That's true. You want to go up the stairs. You don't want to go down the stairs like.
If you're gonna screw up, do it right.
That's it. Yep.
Not saying, just saying.
So how was your weekend, sir?
It was pretty good, man. It was one of the few weekends where I didn't have a whole lot of constructive stuff to do. So I just got some honeydews done around the house, got some cleaning done. It was mostly rainy around here, so it was just kind of relaxed, which, like I said, is not something I get the chance to do very often, and especially with the campaign coming up or going on, not going to get a chance to do that much going forward.
Gotcha. Yeah, we had a couple of Christmas parties to attend, and then the second half of Sunday was mostly a lazy day, relax in the rain.
Understood. Well, let's go ahead and get into today's program, and let's start with a quick shout out to our sponsors.
There we go. Say hi to our friends at Hitman Industries. That's hitmanindustries.net. If you got yourself an AR in the past 5 years, probably got one of their barrels and don't even know it. Well, now you can buy from them factory direct at hitmanindustries.net. That's hitmanindustries.net. California Republican Assembly fighting a good fight behind enemy lines. Now you can take part in California's future today. Make sure you check out that 6th congressional district race for the declared candidate of choice there. If you need the best in tactical concealed holsters on the market, check out Hog Holsters. That's HAWG holsters.com, hogholsters.com for the best tactical holster you can get. The discount code, the rundown, all one word, no spaces, all caps, get yourself a nice little discount. And if you're looking for some tactical field gear, whether you're going camping, fishing, playing paintball, whatever it happens to be, you can get everything but the gun at uscombatgear.com.
All right, folks. Now, these folks are our sponsors. They bring us to you so that we can bring you to them. Do us a favor. Do them a favor. Do yourself a favor. Visit them by following the links in the description of this program. So we make it real easy for you to find them, real easy for you to check them out. Go there. If you like what you see, spend some money with them, and make sure you tell them that it was the guys over at the Rundown that sent you. Also want to encourage you, folks, this is a live program for you today. So, if you got something to say, if you have any comments or any input on the conversation, please let us know. I'm monitoring all of our comments, and now we've actually, so our Twitter feed now is now actually going to be coming into the same feed as the rest of the comments. So, yes, I'm sorry, X, formerly known as Twitter. Right. But check them out, participate in the conversation. We are on Rumble. And by the way, if you haven't already done so, go over to Rumble, look for us, 2A Views, Conservative News, look for the Rundown. Follow us on Rumble. It is the one place where you can be guaranteed that our voice will not be stifled, right? You can be guaranteed that when we're there, you will be hearing from us. So do that. Do that now. Anyway, like, share, subscribe. Like, share, subscribe. Encourage your friends to do the same. All right, on to our first story of the day. This is a Biden move that, I wish I could honestly say would surprise me, but it doesn't. This is there's basically been an investigation where they're actually finding out that money that the Biden administration is sending to the Gaza Strip that's supposed to be going there in order to help provide aid, well, it may or may not, in fact, be doing that. This, according to the folks over at the Washington Free Beacon, it says Biden administration gives $34 million to quote unquote confidential aid groups in Gaza. Watchdog warns money could enrich terrorists. The Biden administration is poised to funnel millions of dollars in taxpayer cash to aid groups inside the Gaza Strip, but is keeping the identities of those organizations a secret, making it difficult for congressional appropriators to determine if the money will enrich Hamas or terror entities known to steal American aid dollars. The White House earmarked at least $34 million in U.S. taxpayer funds for confidential, nonprofit, and United Nations agencies operating in the Gaza Strip, according to a review of UN funding channels by NGO Monitor, a watchdog group that tracks the international organization. It says here the lack of transparency prevents congressional oversight and independent assessments of the ultimate recipients of the U.S. governmental funding. Now, the thing that gets me the most about this, Mike, is we already know when we send in food and water, they steal the food and water. When we send in fuel, Hamas steals the fuel. I mean, there are literally, they have them on video, right? The aid comes in, here comes the Hamas vehicles, they chase everybody off, and they steal it. Now, what's to make us believe that when money goes into Gaza, that they're not going to steal that as well?
That would be none, Craig. There would be no belief that it's occurring in the correct manner. Listen, we know in the last, shipment of money that went over there, right? That remember they ended up with air pumps so they could have them in the tunnels there in Gaza. Listen, we didn't send air pumps over there, and the air pumps got stolen. We sent the money over there and got used for those. All right. There's no reason for us to be sending air pumps to the Israelis. Craig, I think that they're sending this stuff to the wrong place. This is one of those on accident kind of things, where they're sending it there because they're trying to, and you've seen this with this government, with this administration, they're trying to play both sides of the fence here, trying to support both sides without actually saying they're supporting both sides.
Well, and I get what they're saying. Well, they need this, but the problem is this, and this is once again just goes to the difference between how liberals think and how conservatives think. Liberals govern based on what they hope will happen, and what they hope will happen in a perfect world. Well, not a perfect world, because obviously this would be happening in a perfect world. But what they hope would happen is that this money resources would go to provide aid to those families who are in need, who were quote unquote stuck in Gaza. In the real world, we already know that it's not only is it not going to help them, they're not going to get it. And in fact, it's going to go into the pockets, into aid those very individuals that the Israelis that we are trying to root out. It's going to go help the terrorists. We know this. We already know this. And yet, because the intentions of the White House are good, well, then that must make it good policy.
Yeah, and I don't even think the intentions are good, Greg. I think they're hiding behind what their said good intentions are, and I think they're trying to play both sides of the fence here. I think they're trying to get money to both under the auspices of humane care, and humane treatment. They're trying. Oh, we want to make sure the lives of everybody are protected. You want to make sure the lives of everybody are protected, then support the Israelis and get rid of Hamas.
That just makes a little bit too much sense, Mike. You can't go making sense like that. It's just not. That's not how we do things here in the United States of America.
Not in this administration, we don't. That's for sure.
No.
For sure. Maybe they should try and get themselves some of that Ukrainian money.
Yeah, there you go. See, well, and that's a whole nother issue. I'm just taking a quick aside. So, in other words, you decide that you want to put money for Taiwan, money for Israel, and money for Ukraine, all in one big bill, even though they are three totally different things, totally different conflicts, whatever. And then you want to call it a national defense, supplement, right? A national defense. What is more important to our national defense than protecting our southern border?
Oh my God, you said it. You said it.
How about we actually protect our nation right here? But Democrats are like, no, that has nothing to do with it. And then when they do want to authorize money, they don't want to authorize money or things that require them to shut down the border. They just want more money so that they can process the people and let them just walk on in.
Yeah, this is basic life skills 101, Greg. When the homeless guy in the corner says, I need money for a sandwich, you know what you do? You buy him a sandwich. You give him the money, and guess where it's going to end up? All right, it's not going to that sandwich. I'll tell you that.
Really? Are you sure? So when the guy told me, well, if you just give me money, I just want to buy a beer. I don't know that money's going to go to buy a beer.
I'm buying the guy a beer.
There you go. Buy the guy a beer. There you go. I like it. I'm liking it. Good stuff. But, instead of actually taking the time to analyze stuff like this and pay attention, well, let's just say that Democratic staffers are busy doing other things in the Capitol building other than governing. See, this is what happens when, Democrats are in the majority too long. They start to get bored and they start to look to other ways to other ways to entertain themselves. Like this one. Dem staffer filmed backdoor love romp in same building where Joe Biden said the N-word. I love the way the Washington Free Beacon put these two stories together. It says Aiden Mace, I'm not even going to try and pronounce his last name. It says the Democrat staffer was fired for making a gay sex tape in a Senate hearing room, filmed his backdoor love romp in the same office building where President Joe Biden said the N-word in 1985. The former legislative aide to Senator Ben Cardin, had bragged on social media about getting some thick German sausage in a Jaeger sauce finish in the same room, Hart 216, where U.S. Supreme Court Justice Sonia Sotomayor had her confirmation hearing, and the former FBI Director James Comey testified about Russian meddling in the 2016 election. And several decades earlier, then Senator Joe Biden said the N-word in a room also located in the Hart office building on Capitol Hill. We already have a N-word mayor. We don't need any more N-word big shots, Biden said during the confirmation hearing for U.S. Deputy Attorney General William Bradford Reynolds. Now, I'm wondering, I probably could go down here and look a little bit further and probably discover that the N-word is probably not, maybe not the N-word that I'm thinking of, but was he really dumb enough to say literally the N-word in the middle of a hearing?
Dude, I don't think he means nerd, because that's the new N-word, by the way. You're not allowed to say nerd to people.
Did he actually say
is,
the N? I mean, I'm thinking maybe it was the
1980.
I thought maybe it was like a closed door meeting or something like that, and it got reported out. But this was in the middle of a hearing.
This is 1980s Joe Biden. Yeah, it's true. It's true.
Wow.
And what's this senator's name? This guy worked for Ben Dover. Is that his name?
Cardin.
Ben what?
Cardin.
I thought it was Ben Dover.
Ben Cardin.
Okay. Yeah. This is. You know what? How are we putting up with this? You know, listen. I think. Isn't that disrupting, the business of Congress? Can't we charge them with that? Isn't this a January 6th kind of crime here? Can't we throw something on these people for doing that in the Capitol building?
Does that qualify as storming the Capitol?
Well, somebody got the Capitol.
We're any. I mean, if someone went to jail for putting their foot on a member's desk, I'm thinking that if someone is putting their member on something, that's a problem. That should be a crime too, right? No?
The old Trojan horse, what he gave him. Yep. Yeah. That's definitely a problem. Yeah, you can't be. I don't even want to get all the innuendos here, but you can't be doing that. Okay, that's no.
Bad. Don't do that. I'm just for the life of me, Mike. I'm trying to think.
Well, here it is.
How bad would Democrats be going off if a Republican had done this?
Oh yeah. Listen, it would be the topic of the day from now until election day. That's for sure.
Yeah, there would be no getting away with it, none whatsoever. Anyway,
Yep.
We'll see what winds up happening with this. Once again, the guy got fired, which, by the way, he should have gotten fired. I don't know that there's a criminal charge. Fine, just fire dude. But do better.
I'd have to look at the laws in D.C. But this is, come on, have a little decency as a human, right? As a respectable person. Listen. Whatever a man and another man and a midget and a goat want to do in their own bedroom is fine, but you keep that stuff off the house, out of the house chambers.
Right. You just do it in the privacy of your own wherever.
Exactly. Yep.
Wherever or whatever it might be.
That's it. Yep.
Okay. Let's move right along to the next story. I bring this story up because this is something that you're probably going to see coming soon to you. And this is so in California, they made a lot of major changes to concealed carry, much the same way in which New York did. There's severe limitations on where you can carry. For example, you never could carry, I won't say never. Prior to after 2016, you couldn't carry on school grounds. You still can't. But now you can't even possess a firearm in the parking lot. Even if it's locked up. So that's one of the changes that took place. Now, the other thing, which by the way means like if you go to school to pick up your kid and you're carrying and you lock the firearm in your car, you have to park off school grounds in order to do that. But that's not the main thing here. Here, they instituted emergency rules. Now, in California, when they go through the rulemaking process, they're supposed to make the rules as a process that you go through, which includes public information, public input, yada, 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 people having a chance to read it. Well, in California, what they do just before the laws take place, they push through these emergency rules and they restrict the amount of time or amount of public comment that can take place. Well, in this case, what they're doing is that it puts special requirements and requires all CCW instructors to go through additional training, which basically means that if you don't have the training, you can't teach the CCW class, which means that starting the beginning of the year, there's only going to be a handful of people who are qualified and eligible to teach the concealed carry class, which means that when you go and apply for your permit or you go to apply for a renewal, sorry, there's no classes. There's no classes because their instructors are still working on getting certified. And by the way, what they also did was they doubled the amount of time that Californians have to take. So instead of, it used to be 8 hours for your initial and then 4 hours after that of training. Now they've doubled it. So you have 16 hours of training, which is, I believe, the same amount that post folks have to do in California. And on top of it, they've made it so that you now have 16 hours, or not 16, 8 hours of training for concealed carry permit holders for renewals. And they're according to MLN, it says another signal that the state of California will fight tooth and nail to prevent citizens from exercising their Second Amendment rights is an emergency regulation announced by the Department of Justice designed specifically to reduce the number of available firearms instructors by limiting who can teach the required training to concealed carry permit applicants. Among those not accepted under the new regulation are National Rifle Association certified instructors, according to Fox News. The California State Sheriff's Association is pushing back. The station quoted a statement issued by the organization which states a likely and obvious byproduct of reducing the number of trained and certified CCW instructors will be an increased difficulty in CCW applicants' ability to access appropriate CCW training and certification. It can be argued that impeding access to sufficient numbers of adequate CCW instructors will jeopardize CCW applicants' ability to exercise their Second Amendment rights lawfully. Under the emergency regulations, initial applicant must submit a copy of their training certification with one of the following: either a Bureau of Security and Investigative Services from the Department of Consumer Affairs, which they don't generally teach those classes, Commission on Peace Officer Standards and Training, or POST, which basically is post certification, authorization from the state of California accredited school to teach firearm training course, which, by the way, is that they're arguing does not include NRA trained instructors, even though they've been doing this and teaching these courses forever. Now, is that BS or what?
Yeah, absolutely it is. Listen, it's more ways to restrict individuals from exercising their Second Amendment rights. How can we find more ways, more loopholes, more requirements to make them not be able to carry their firearm? How do we disarm these citizens? Craig, I think it might be part of Mussolini's greater plan. Now, you're short, again, on tax dollars. You know, more and more people continue to leave the state of California. You've got no middle class anymore. The money is gone. So by disarming the people that are remaining, he's giving jobs and money-making opportunity to those criminals out there that choose to engage them.
Well, that's what he's doing. He's turning California into a business-friendly state for criminals.
That's right.
I mean, it's amazing, man. So I'm like, okay, when you consider where, oh, by the way, the other place where you're restricted, just like with New York, instead of a business having to put a sign up saying we do not allow you to carry firearms, you have to put up a sign that says you do allow people to carry firearms. So,
right. Which was just found to be unconstitutional in New York.
It was just found to be unconstitutional in New York. So basically, they're making it so no place, absolutely positively no place of business, not on public transportation, not in any government building, including a library or any place. You can basically, if you're going to carry outside, you can carry outside in your front yard.
Yeah, and even then, I'm sure they'll find ways to prevent that. They're trying to make it so, Craig, you can only carry your firearm while you're in the safe with the firearm.
Right, you have to be in the safe with the fire, but you can't have the ammunition with you.
No, it's got to be separate.
Ammunition has definitely got to be separate. But that's, once again, that is the way that they roll. I just do. Are we really that unreasonable, Mike? I mean, are we really just not truly understanding? Is there a logic here that says, well, this is actually constitutional if you look at it this way? Because I'm just not understanding how they in their right mind can believe that any of this is okay.
They don't believe it's the right way. That it's the correct thing. They believe this is the right thing for them to do, Craig, because listen, they don't. This is not caring about safety. This is not caring about anything else. They know that they're passing unconstitutional laws, and they know that there's no repercussions because they have their absolute immunity. They're doing it because they know they can get away with it, and they're making reelection points. Look what I did. Look what I did. You need to reelect me, Craig. We must get rid of absolute immunity for these elected officials. So when they're passing unconstitutional laws and they're breaking the law doing such, they don't have immunity from it. Just like your law enforcement folks do, they have qualified immunity, which means they're immune as long as they don't break the law or violate your civil rights. Well, guess what? Passing an unconstitutional law is. It's both. Okay, they need to be held accountable. The Supreme Court needs to send the marshals out with some contempt orders and bring these people before them.
You know what? Let me just say it here. Consider this a policy announcement. When I'm in Congress, I will introduce a bill that will give all elected officials qualified immunity. No longer unlimited immunity, but qualified. Because when you do stuff, and I've heard California electeds literally say, look, we don't do the Constitution here. We're not worried about whether or not something is constitutional. When you deliberately decide that you are going to violate the Constitution of the United States, you should be held accountable. You no longer should have any immunity from being sued. Because I was thinking about this, and I'm like, wait a minute. So you're saying now people can't carry in church. So now basically church security is now null and void. You didn't give churches the same opportunity as any other business to say, yes, we're okay with concealed carry permit holders carrying here. You said specifically you can't carry in church. So if someone comes into a church and I'm sorry, but the state government, the people, everybody who voted for this law, everybody who signed it into law ought to be able to be sued.
Absolutely right. Absolutely. And by the way, the church provision also found unconstitutional here in New York in the past 2 weeks. So
funny how that works, huh?
Listen, hopefully this will cause a Supreme Court presentation, and we can finally get them to rule on this decision, so we can stop seeing rogue states like California continue to enact these unconstitutional laws.
Well, I will tell you the only good thing about rogue states like California is because they do what they do. Now that we have a pro-liberty minded Supreme Court, we actually have a chance to overturn some of this stuff. Right now, there's like, okay, somebody went and did something stupid. Now we can go ahead and we can get a Supreme Court decision saying you don't get to do at least this stupid thing.
That's right. Everybody gets to be an example. California just chooses to be the bad example.
There you go. All right, moving right along. Now we've got LeBron James. His good reason. I don't know if you maybe you don't follow LeBron James. I generally don't. The only reason why I know about this is because this is reported far and wide in conservative circles. But LeBron James was going to his son's basketball game, his son's NCAA basketball game. And he decided that, he was not going to. Not only did he choose to, normally what happens is if the national anthem is going on and you're about to enter an arena or something like that, and you don't want to call, you wait, you stop, you wait. You're not generally not supposed to be walking around or talking or anything like that. You're supposed to be standing, but even if you're not standing, you shut up. Don't be a distraction. So his thing was, I didn't, want to be a distraction. That's why I sat down. So in other words, you walked in. That's what he was saying. His good reason, in fact, let me pull the story up here. It says here, Bronny James, the eldest son of legendary NBA star, made his debut for USC last Sunday. The Trojans lost in a in-state rival, Long Beach State. LeBron James makes his entrance at Galen Center for Bronny James' debut during the national anthem, holding his daughters in his hand, accompanied by Bryce James and two of his Sierra Canyon teammates, Bryce Cofield and Jaden Alexander. So here's what happened. So once again, I'll play it for you. So this is the middle of the event, and he decides to walk on in. Rather than just stay out there, just wait. But here's the other thing he does. Check this out. Give him a minute. Give it a minute. And sits down in the middle of the national anthem. It wasn't like he had to stand up for the national anthem. He just had to remain standing. And he decided, yeah, no, that's too much. That's too much respect for the United States of America.
It's ridiculous. He says that I come in during the national anthem. I always come in during the national anthem because that way there's no commotion. There's no the crowds aren't rushing me. People aren't trying to get autographs. Well, how about showing respect where respect is due? You wait until the national anthem's over. You walk in before or you walk in after. And then when you're at your seat, you stand there and you take your damn hat off and you show some respect to the millions of people that have served this country before you.
Well, that's what's funny. So let's be clear. One, he walked in during the national anthem. I'm sorry, you're LeBron James. You're sitting on the front row. Yes, you caused a stir. Number two, you sat down during. Not, you didn't remain. You could have just remained standing. You didn't even have to stand up, right? You sat down during the national, and you didn't even bother to take your hat off.
Yeah, you are LeBron James. You are not Jesus. Okay, stand yourself up, take your hat off, and again, walk in during it, walk in before or walk in after. Oh, you're gonna sit in the front row and you're LeBron James. How about get there 5 minutes earlier? Hey, come 5 minutes late. Who cares? You're not interrupting my national anthem.
Right. Here's the thing. It may not have been his intent to disrespect it, but you disrespected it nonetheless. How about you apologize? Fine. It wasn't you didn't intend it. You still did it. Why not own it?
But he says he every time. He says he comes in during the national anthem on purpose. That way people can't bother him while he's coming in.
Oh, so in other words, he can't be bothered to honor our country, but people are supposed to honor him.
Correct.
That is LeBron James for you, folks. That is LeBron James for you. And, he wonders why so many people have so little respect for him as a person. As a basketball player, and I still will not give him the credit of being the greatest of all time because that is still Michael Jordan. Who do you think it is? Havlicek?
No. It's MJ. I'm just saying.
Okay, all right. Oh, I thought you were like you're doubting MJ.
No, it's MJ. Don't. That's Jesus. Right?
That's Jesus. Michael Jesus.
That's it. Michael Jesus. Yeah.
It's Michael Jesus. There you go.
LeBron's the king of flip-flopping. That's about it.
Yeah, I'm just like, dude, come on, man. Look, do better, dude. The worst part is I don't expect him to do better. But you can't be surprised when you get criticism over when you do something that's stupid.
Yeah.
And disrespectful.
Yep.
All right.
Agreed. Absolutely agreed.
Okay, moving right along. We're now to our parting shots brought to you by Hog Holsters. Just go to hogholsters.com. Use the discount code The Rundown, all caps, no spaces. Get your hog holster today. Our first one comes here. Oh, okay. Well, this is. Oh, you recall this one? This is a different one. It says, "I don't always whoop, but when I do, there it is."
Whoop! There it is.
Okay, then. moving right along.
Monday funny for you,
The very, very funny Monday. The government forced businesses to close and people lost their jobs. Now that they're allowed to reopen, it's called creating jobs.
Amazing, huh? How Biden's taking credit for the biggest jobs program ever. What?
Easily of the 14 million jobs that he is claiming, easily 11 to 12 of them were jobs that were gone due to Democrats. Let me make that real clear. Democrats shutting down the government. I mean, shutting down businesses.
Yep. And the other 3 or 4 million are people taking second jobs to cover the cost of inflation.
Okay. In the era of DEI and equity and inclusion and all that stuff, Got to share this one. You want to go ahead and read this one for the folks, Mike?
I love this. This is great. Heard a dude pronounce LGBT as LGBT, and now that's how I will forever say it. LGBT.
LGBT. Although now it's LGBT, LGBT, because there's the I, A, and the plus.
I'm forgetting all that. This is LGBT. I might give it LGBT plus.
LGBT plus. There you go.
The new. Yep.
All right, and the last one. North Carolina's vaccine will be vinegar-based, while South Carolina's will be mustard-based.
That's right. That's
wow.
Dated, but very, very, very true. Very true.
And regional, definitely a regional joke. And you know, unless you really understand Southern cooking, you're not going to get that. But it's good stuff.
Listen, barbecue sauce. If you don't understand barbecue sauce out in California, then you don't deserve to eat. Okay, that's.
I'm more into rubs than barbecue than sauces. I'd rather I will take a barbecue with a good rub over a sauce.
Again, you keep your personal life. What you do behind closed doors is you, sir. That's you.
Okay, now, just did not. The kiddies watching the show. Watch yourself, Mike. Moving right along. It's about that time. Mike, go ahead and give us a quick shout out to our sponsors before we go.
HitmanIndustries.net. HitmanIndustries.net. You can get any barrel length you want on your AR for your next pistol or caliber, and any caliber you want for your next AR rifle or pistol build. That's HitmanIndustries.net. California Republican Assembly, fighting the good fight behind enemy lines. Now you can take part in California's future today. Make sure you check out the California 6th Congressional race. And if you're looking for some tactical gear, indoors, outdoors, going hunting, going camping, going fishing, whatever it may be, you can get it all except the gun at uscombatgear.com.
Right, folks. Now, Mike just reminded you about the 6th Congressional District. The race is on, folks. We're running to win. We need your help. We need your support. We want to purchase some of those really big signs. We want to see this sign. We want to see at least 100 of these like 4x6 foot signs, right? That's going to cost us a little bit of money. We need your help. We need you to kick in. All you got to do is go to CraigDeluze.com. That's CraigDeluze.com. Click that little donate button up there and kick in a few bucks. However little or however much, please help us out and encourage your friends to do the same. If everybody does a little bit, a whole lot gets done.
There you go.
And with that, we're done for today. We appreciate you tuning in. We appreciate you liking and sharing the program and encourage your friends to do the same. We're going to be back tomorrow. Tomorrow will be Taco Tuesday. So we'll be here and looking forward to some good eating. Y'all take care.